All right, so here we're going to start kind of adding maybe some surface noise to this material first. So let's go ahead and after this levels, let's find some um, and just some noise. And this time, let's start with um, something like a clouds, but a little different. Maybe this clouds. There's actually one here that I think may be good. Let's try this sloped fractal sum. So we'll grab this, select again this node or this connector, hit blend, um, and we're gonna plug this in here and here. And this time we're gonna do a multiply, maybe even subtract. Right, so you notice there's kind of this surface noise. Let's reduce the opacity. Right? And really what we're trying to do here is just add some little bits on the surface. We can plug this into a levels. So I'm gonna right click again, levels, maybe adjust the gamma a little bit. Go. And there's another one that I really like here called stone. So I'm gonna again I'm gonna scoot everything back. Right click this again and type in stone. Or sorry, I'm gonna go ahead and run a blend. And I'm gonna run stone and scroll down, and there's this stone noise. And we're going to plug this into the background. And I usually, just for the sake of looking at them, I like to flip these. So I'm going to select this node and just hit the swap input parameters. So, and this one, again, I think I'm going to run a subtract. And again, we're just going to reduce the opacity. And just because these look almost very similar patternish, I'm just gonna maybe adjust the seed, just see. Yeah. I think there was one more that I liked here, which was, I thought it was a rock noise. But yeah, this one was kind of interesting. So if you double click it, you'll see that it's almost like these little swirls. At first, it feels a little odd, but these it's actually really kind of cool for um, for slamming on top of. So if we do a blend again, plug this in, again swap, and this time we'll do a multiply. And then again, let's reduce the opacity. Let's get a little bit of balancing. Yeah, I think this one, maybe let's bypass this. Yeah, like that a little bit better. So let's go ahead and we'll wipe one back. There we go. Right, and again, let's kind of reduce these. So I'm just going to type in a value here. So I'll set maybe half the density at 15. Because really what we don't want to lose is this edge chipping, right? So once we start losing that detail, we can also use our arrows, just bump these up and down. That's pretty good. Um, and then let's add one more thing here, which is going to be some cracks. So let's add something to kind of break up here. So we'll type in cracks and we'll do probably these organic. Again, we're going to blend. Right here. And then plug this in. And again, I just like to in order. And then I'll just do a subtract. You notice it'll jam the cracks in. Obviously, that's too much. All right. Now, what you'll notice too right now is everything is kind of just going across the tiles, which you really don't want. So what we're gonna do is use this technique where we end up using this flood fill to warp this. So select this directional warp. And I think I'm eventually just going to add this as part of a blend, like a specific blend to where I can plug in the warp on it. But for right now, just going to use this as the intensity input. And then we'll crank up this intensity to just an absurdly high number, right? And what that'll do is kind of offset our noise per tile. And we don't want to, so we just want it to be in one direction. Don't want it to be in two, right? And so now we've got kind of some of those alternating kind of per tile noise, right? So that we, when we blend it in, it doesn't cross over from tile to tile. So again, let's make some space. Right click here and hit directional warp. Again, the same thing. So this is one odd part of it is we have to actually put a reroute in order to have more than one. And again, we're going to set this to one direction, set this to 1000, and now they're offset properly. And then lastly, we'll do it again with the cracks. This time, instead of doing all that, we'll just alt left click this to dupe it, plug this in, and notice it's already plugged into the proper flood fill. But we can probably attach it to the reroute here. And now again, we've got proper offsets. Plug this into the foreground. And there we go. We've got some cracks on our tile.